Thank you, members of the press, for coming out this morning on short notice. We're here today because we are announcing that we have authorized the filing of criminal charges against 3 individuals relative to the homicide that occurred in the city of Easton on July the 5th, I believe that was. Is that correct? Yes. And those charges have been lodged against the following individuals: Kareem Antoine Mitchell, Robert Anthony Jourdain, it's Jourdain, and Todd Kenyon West. These are 3 police criminal complaints that I'm not going to be releasing today, by the way, but they will be available later today at District Judge Richard H. Yetter's magisterial office. And I want to go through a little bit about what culminated in the following charges, and then if there's questions that can be answered, I will turn this over to the appropriate people here in the Easton Police Department. Essentially, the following facts are relevant to this matter. At about 3:14 a.m. on July 5th of 2015, the Easton Police were called to the 1100 block of Lehigh Street for a report of a shooting. Upon arrival, a male later identified as Kory Ketrow, age 22, was discovered lying on the ground with an apparent gunshot wound to the back and chest. Ketrow was transported to Easton Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased at approximately 4:15 a.m. The Northampton County Coroner's Office did rule that Ketrow's death was a homicide resulting from 2 gunshot wounds to the back and chest. At approximately 3:31 a.m. on July the 5th of 2015, the Palmer Police Department contacted the Easton Police Department advising that 2 adult individuals, a 46-year-old female and a 45-year-old male, were reporting that they had just been shot at while in their vehicle a short time before in the city of Easton. Easton Police took over the investigation after gathering additional information from the 2 adult individuals. Based upon further evidence, Easton Police located and then concluded that the shooting occurred at 3:20 a.m. on the same date. Furthermore, it is believed that the location of the shooting took place in the area of North 3rd Street and Spring Garden Streets. They further said that an SUV stopped behind them. A black male exited the rear passenger side of the vehicle, and that the male then fired several bullets at their vehicle. A bullet was later recovered from the adult individual's vehicle tire on July 6th of 2015. On July 5th of 2015, members of the Allentown Police Department located a white Mercedes-Benz ML 430 bearing Pennsylvania registration JHG 6685 parked unoccupied in the parking lot area of 404 Hamlin Street. A search warrant was executed on the aforementioned vehicle. Inspector Daniel Reagan of the Easton Police Department was present during the execution of the search warrant and witnessed the recovery of a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver located in a Walmart shopping bag, as well as 18 discharged .38 caliber cartridge casings. The white Mercedes-Benz SUV was determined to be registered to the mother of Kareem Mitchell, one of the individuals that has been charged. At approximately 11:50 a.m. on July 6th, Inspector Reagan and the Allentown Police Detective John Brixius interviewed Todd West, a black male, at the Allentown Police Department Detective Division. During the interview, Mr. West admitted shooting Kory Ketrow in the 1100 block of Lehigh Street in Easton at approximately 3:15 a.m. on July 5th of 2015. West also stated that Kareem Mitchell drove the vehicle, described as a Mercedes-Benz ML 430 SUV, to the shootings in Easton. Also, that Robert Jourdain purchased the ammunition for the firearm at an area Walmart store that same morning when Jourdain and Mitchell waited outside. Easton Police Detectives Charles Lubert did go to the Walmart located at 3722 Easton Nazareth Highway and recovered a video which shows Robert Jourdain purchasing .38 caliber ammunition at 2:45 a.m. on July 5th, just prior to the shootings occurring. During this interview, West also stated that while with Jourdain and Kareem Mitchell, he also fired at a silver in color sedan in a unit block of North 3rd Street, Easton, just minutes after shooting the male on Lehigh Street. This did match the report provided by the 46-year-old female and 45-year-old male that was given to Easton police on July 5th of 2015. At 2:50 p.m. on July 6th, Inspector Reagan and Allentown Police Detective John Brixius interviewed Kareem Mitchell at the Allentown Police Department. Mitchell also admitted to driving Todd West to the scene of the shootings in the 1100 block of Lehigh Street and the unit block of North 3rd Street. Mitchell further stated that Robert Jourdain purchased the ammunition for the handgun used at a local area Walmart on the morning of the shootings. Additionally, Mitchell said that he drove Jourdain and West to Walmart, where Jourdain purchased ammunition for the gun that West had possessed. Lastly, that he drove them away from Walmart with the gun and newly purchased ammunition. Based upon this investigation that was conducted by the Easton Police in conjunction with law enforcement in the city of Allentown, as well as the help of Palmer, these charges today that are being announced are as follows. These individuals are charged with criminal homicide resulting as a result of the intentional death caused to the victim, Kory Ketrow. They're also charged with the count of criminal conspiracy in the event on the basis that there's the allegation, the Commonwealth's contention that all three individuals conspired to commit a charge of criminal homicide. We also have a charge of criminal attempt filed against these individuals as a result of the other shooting that occurred with the couple that I've mentioned before. I want to state very clearly that this investigation, which was done very quickly by the Easton Police, and they deserve a great amount of credit, was also very much assisted by the Allentown Police Department and detectives in that division. It's my understanding, based on conversations with the Easton Police, that there was a great cooperative working relationship between these two departments in bringing this case to justice so quickly. I might add that I think the press is already reporting, which was already on the news this morning, that these three individuals, the same individuals, were also charged by the Allentown Police. That's correct, right? Allentown Police last night or early this morning with a double homicide that occurred in the city of Allentown. So the fact of this case is that these three individuals are responsible for the deaths of the Easton case, and they are charged in Allentown. It's also my understanding that District Attorney Jim Martin may be holding a press conference later this afternoon, which he will go into a little bit more detail about the Allentown investigation and perhaps some other areas. So I'm not going to be taking any questions about the Allentown matter. That's entirely up to District Attorney Martin. At this time, I'll be happy to entertain some questions regarding this arrest, and if any of the representatives of the Easton Police Department can answer some more questions, I'll turn that over to them. So at this time, I'm willing to take some questions. There doesn't appear to be any relation between the victims in Easton and the victims in Allentown. They didn't know each other, correct?
That's correct.
Right.
Well, we don't know why they did it.
The investigation, even though there's arrest warrants being issued, it's still ongoing, and we're still gathering facts and evidence. So there's some information we're not going to comment on at this point because of that.
You said that the Allentown Vics and the Easton Vics don't appear to know each other, and the two sets of Easton Vics don't know each other either, is that correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Any signs that the suspects were high or using anything?
I wouldn't want to comment on that.
Any gang affiliations?
I have no comment on that issue as well. As was indicated, this investigation is still ongoing, as oftentimes it is. Additional information may be coming forward to us regarding these individuals.
So they just simply picked out their victims at completely random moments?
It could be a random shooting. It's at this point we don't have any. Our statement is you can interpret any way you want. There's no connection that law enforcement knows today between the sets of victims in Easton and/or the relationships between the victims in Allentown. At this point, so you can draw conclusions, your own conclusions from that.
Any indications where the suspects were prior to, I guess, the Walmart is the first stop that you mentioned?
I don't know if
Our
we have
investigation is
information.
still ongoing, tracking their movements throughout the day and night.
But just to be clear, I mean, because I think when people hear random, they're gonna think, oh my gosh, are there more of these folks out here? Am I gonna be walking down the street and someone's gonna shoot at me? I mean, you're saying these people, there is absolutely no connection between the Easton victims and these three gentlemen at all, that you can tell so far?
Yeah, at the present time, it does not appear to be a relation between the couple that was shot upon in Easton area, and our victim, or this homicide victim in Easton, and as well as the victims in homicides in Allentown. What we do know is that these three individuals are charged, you know, they were charged as you reported in the news already, and now they're charged with this, so they are the guys that we feel strongly are the people responsible for all the deaths, 3 homicides here in Lehigh Valley.
And our investigation has led that all 3 persons were taken into custody by the Allentown Police yesterday at some time, and those are the 3 people that were involved in this crime, and no information led to any other people being involved.
Right.
And I know you guys aren't talking about gangs or drugs or anything like that, but there's gonna, just with that information, people are gonna wonder, are there more of them? Should I be concerned? What's being done?
This
Yeah.
investigation has showed the 3 actors, and those 3 actors were taken in custody by Allentown Police yesterday.
I mean, yeah, obviously, we don't have a crystal ball here, but at this point, I think the law enforcement community is confident that these shootings, which appear to be unconnected and, you know, random, that these are the 3 actors involved. And so, you know, with them off the streets, we're not aware of anyone else involved with respect to this incident.
Can we get the identities of the shooting victims, and how are they doing? Are they expected to recover, or?
At this time, we have not released their identities, and I don't plan on doing that. But I don't know how.
They were not injured.
Yeah.
They were not injured.
They were not injured.
But they were shot, though, or not?
They
were shot at.
I see.
Their car was shot.
Their car was shot, right.
And you said one bullet was recovered from Tyler?
Correct.
I see.
Are there any other acts of, I don't know, robbery or something similar to this that you guys are investigating and trying to connect leading up to all this stuff? Because
We don't really want to get specific on that. Again, both this department, Easton and Allentown, working together, are still involved in the investigation. There may be more information forthcoming regarding these individuals, but you know, at this point, we're still looking at them, who they are. You know, we don't really want to get specific. Right now, what we do know is that they are responsible for these 3 Lehigh Valley deaths, and at this point, we'll see, you know, what other information develops at this time.
So just to backtrack here, I guess these victims are the people that the car was shot at. They identified a white Mercedes, and you were looking for that, and then the vehicle happened to be found then in Allentown, and then that's how you
We
track-
recovered evidence that led us to believe what occurred there.
I guess I'm trying to get at, how did you eventually get turned on to these suspects?
Well, as the lieutenant said, we're not going to go into those details right now. We'll provide you with the information of the arrest, and we recovered evidence that led us to the conclusion of where the shooting occurred.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Yeah, in terms of getting the affidavit, probable cause, you're gonna have to get that, because that information is still not available, and it may still be subject to amendment. We wanted to get the information out to the public, but to alleviate any concerns, you know, I don't believe, we don't have any reason to believe that there are other people out there that would be putting, you know, average citizens at risk. We feel strongly that these 3 individuals were the 3 individuals involved and no more. Again, you know, we can't predict whether there's people out there that decide on their own to commit a crime tomorrow night. But right now, you know, I don't want to create an impression that somehow there's people out there that we're aware of that are walking around just taking shots at people. We're not aware of that. We feel confident that these 3 actors are responsible for these shootings that appear to be random and not connected at all. So that's where we are at the present time.
John, how does this work in terms of arraignments? Are they going to be arraigned in Lehigh County for those crimes over there, and then everything will be taken care of in Lehigh County?
No, the charges have been filed in 2 separate counties, and Jim Martin and I have been in contact. We to discuss this whole issue, and at the present time, these cases are going to proceed on 2 tracks, both in Lehigh and Northampton County. But I will say, and I really want to stress this because I think that these guys would, perhaps Dan, you might want to address this, the relationship of the working with the Allentown Police, how that went.
It was absolutely incredible. Without the Allentown Police and the Lehigh County District Attorney's Office, and also the Northampton County District Attorney's Office input, we certainly wouldn't be at a resolution as quickly as we have been. Allentown Police, from their patrol division to their identification division to their detective division, was outstanding. We shared information. As soon as we realized Allentown had a shooting, we compared notes. Lieutenant Gerald and I went up there immediately. We compared notes, and we realized there was obviously a correlation. And then we jointly investigated, and that led us to additional evidence and eventually the suspects. And as Lieutenant Gerald said, then they were arrested in Allentown. So it was a quick conclusion of multi-jurisdictional investigation.
Yeah, and I want to add also, because of my long relationship with Jim Martin, he and I talk frequently about issues of mutual concern for the counties. And so when something like this happens, since we do have such a good relationship in that respect, we pick up the phone and we get on the phone and we sort of try to work out these things. And everything went very smoothly. Jim and I talked last night, again this morning, and as I said, he will have additional information that I think is important relative to the Allentown matter and maybe a few other issues that he will bring up this afternoon. All right?